Hi, welcome to my ArcGIS tutorial part 1. Here in this tutorial, we will learn about the basics of ArcGIS file types and its packages, its interface, how to open some common tools and panels. Before that, let's learn about some basic concepts of GIS. Let's first understand what GIS is. GIS stands for Geographic Information Systems. The system is used for working with space-related data, which we refer as spatial data. With this system, we can create, combine, manage, analyze, and visualize this spatial data. While data analysis is used to get some useful insights about the data and present it to general public, GIS is used to analyze and present spatial data to general people. Now, let's learn about the history of Esri and GIS. At 1999, a company named Esri made a package of software to make the GIS related tasks easier. Those combined softwares were called ArcGIS Desktop. It includes multiple packages such as ArcMap, ArcCatalog, ArcGlobe, ArcView, etc. At 2015, Esri decided not to use multiple software to do the tasks. Instead, they decided to develop ArcGIS Pro, which can do everything that were possible in ArcGIS Desktop and beyond. At that time, the development of ArcGIS Desktop was suspended. Let's now talk about the shapefiles. Shapefiles are the main file type for storing GIS related vector data. It is a proprietary file type. Multiple files create a shapefile. Some of them are mandatory, some of them are optional. To store a lot of shapefiles in convenient way, to protect them and to be consistent with storing of data, Esri developed GeoDatabase. It is a container just like a zip file which can contain multiple shapefiles and other types of files. There are three types of geodatabases: personal geodatabase, which can store up to 2 gigabytes, file geodatabase, which can store up to 1 terabyte, and enterprise geodatabase, which can store unlimited data. We will work with many types of data in ArcGIS. Let's first talk about spatial data. It is divided into two types. One of them are vector data. It includes point, line, and polygon. Another type is raster data, which consists of pixels arranged in a grid. Next, let's talk about non-spatial data. It is also of two types. It includes attribute data, which explains the characteristics of a point, line, polygon, etc., usually contained in a tabular format. Another type is metadata. Although it is underestimated sometimes, it is actually very important. It explains the scale, projection, data sources, and what manipulations are done, etc., on the data. There are other things to know, such as GeoJSON. It is mainly a JSON file but has a coordinate system built into it. TIFF files are a kind of uncompressed, lossless raster data containers. RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. It is made based on SQL. Let's talk about ArcGIS desktop modules. ArcCatalog provides us a catalog to organize, manage, search, and preview GIS files. It is mainly useful when we work with large data because we can preview data without loading it into ArcMap. ArcMap is the main component of ArcGIS desktop. We will use it mainly for creating the GIS data, analyzing, and creating maps, etc. ArcGlobe is used to do 3D analysis and visualization. ArcScene is also used to do some 3D visualization, analysis, and creating animations. ArcView is very old software and it is now considered a legacy software, so we will not use it. Let's dive into ArcCatalog and see its toolbars, its layout, and glimpse of what we can do with ArcCatalog. Now, after opening the software, we can see the interface of ArcCatalog. If we cannot see the catalog tree, we can bring it back by clicking on the catalog tree button in the standard toolbar. If the standard toolbar is also not present, we can bring it by going to the customized menu and then toolbars and then standard toolbar. This is a very important toolbar to have always on because this toolbar we can toggle on and off many other panels. Now let's look at the main panel of our catalog, which is the tree view, because here we can browse the toolboxes, database servers, database connections, etc. So let's connect a new folder in the folder connections where some of my example files are located. We can do so by browsing and clicking the folder and selecting OK. Now we can see that the folders we chose to connect is showing under the folders connection section. If we want, we can rename the folder that we connected. I set the folder name as example data just because I wanted to. You can rename it to anything that you like. Just consider the fact that if you are working with many folder connections, then setting the appropriate folder name can help you in the long run. Let's explore what we have in the example data folder. We can see that it includes two folders. In the first folder, there is a shapefile named water body poly. We can choose the shapefile and go to preview tab to see its preview and see the description of the shapefile by going to description tab. Description generally includes the metadata of shapefile. So we can see who has created the shapefile, what are the contents of the shapefile, creator notes, the usage limitations, and its extent from this tab. As there are no specified metadata, as there are no specified metadata, the ARC catalog is showing us that there is no data. Anyway, now let's see the previews of other shapefiles. Now we are watching the preview of building.shp, then orchard.shp, then outsidequake.shp. ARC catalog and ArcGIS are connected together. When we connect a folder in ARC catalog, it will also show in ArcMap. If we have a lot of data, we can organize it in ARC catalog to make finding the files easier in ArcMap. So now let's jump into ArcMap and explore its functionalities. Now you can see ArcMap has just opened and new document window is here for us. Let's choose blank map to start with. Now let's introduce ourselves to some important toolbars of ArcMap. We can see a similar toolbar just like ArcCatalog in ArcMap. It was called Standard Toolbar in ArcCatalog and it is also called Standard Toolbar in ArcMap. If you remember, it can be brought by going to the Customize menu and then Toolbar section, then turning on the Standard Toolbar. If we have the standard toolbar, we can turn on or off table of contents, the Arc catalog, search panel, Arc toolbox, Python console, etc. Now let's see how we can add some data in our ArcMap session. We can set the specific folder in look in drop down menu. Here we can see that under the folder connection, we have example data folder. It was added with ARC catalog. Let's add the water body poly shapefile here. We could also do the same thing with the catalog panel in ArcMap. Let's add another shapefile from catalog panel. We can simply drag and drop the file from the catalog panel to the viewport. Now, let's talk about data frames. We can add a data frame by going to the insert option and selecting data frame. Now the viewport became empty. It is because we are looking the new data frame and the new data frame doesn't have any layers. The data frame can be considered as worlds. Different data frames are different worlds. Data frames are useful in many situations. For example, if we are working with a lot of layers but we are not interested to all of them right now, for some particular work, we can use data frames to see only the important layers. Thus, we don't have to toggle the visibility of all the other layers on and off again and again. We can add a data from one data frame to another just by dragging them. Let's add some. Here we added only the orchard and outside quet layers. We can see only the two. We can rename the data frame by going to the properties window of the data frame. In fact, we can do the same for any of the layers. Let's learn about ArcToolbox now. ArcToolbox includes the main analysis tools for ArcGIS desktop. Let's use one. In the GIS lab, we are provided with some example data. It is included in a LPK file which stands for layer package. It means that there are multiple layers included in one file. Let's extract the package to get the individual shape files. For that, we will use a tool from ArcToolbox. The tool we need is in data management folder. Then inside package folder, it is called extract package tool. Let's open it. We can see a window appeared. If the help section is not shown in the window, I always suggest to turn the help section on by clicking on show help button. It will show us documentation on various things. Let's use the tool now. I am choosing the input package as the LPK file and output folder as a new folder inside example data folder. Pressing OK will let the tool extract the layer package. Let's see the extracted area. Here they are. Let's add some data for demonstration. Now we will save the ArcMap project. To do so, we will go to File menu and press Save As and show the folder. Now let's do an experiment. We want to see what happens when ArcMap cannot find a file. To do that, let's rename a folder which contains some file referenced by the map. I am renaming this folder to another name. Let's open ArcMap project to see what happens. Now we can see that the project file has opened, but not all the layers were opened. If we notice carefully, we can see that there is an exclamation mark beside the visibility box of some layers. It indicates that ArcMap cannot find the data source of the layers. Let's learn how to fix them now. To do that, click right mouse button on any layer with error, go to the data option and repair data source. Now we have to locate the file and click on it. If we do that, the remaining layers with errors are also fixed automatically. ArcMap is smart in this matter. Now let's learn about the Identify tool. Identify tool is very useful because it helps you to identify the features, the layer from which the feature came from, and the other attributes of the feature. It identifies the topmost layer in your map by default. For example, let's identify this polygon. By clicking on it, we can see that this layer came from the boundary layer. Let's learn about the layer symbology now. The rectangle under every layer is for accessing the symbology option easily. For example, if we click on the rectangle under the boundary layer, we can change its properties. We can change its color, thickness, etc. and click OK to apply the changes. To get more advanced options, we can open properties window for that. Inside the symbology tab, we can click on the box under symbol section to get the same panel. Before moving deeper into the symbology, let's see what attribute table of the boundary layer. We can see that there are many rows in it. Also, there are some useful columns. We can use the data to drive the symbology. Let's get into the symbology tab. Let's get to the symbology tab inside layer properties. In the category section, we can drive the colors of the polygons by some criteria. We can also use color ramp to drop down easily to change the colors. If we apply the changes, we can see that although it is only one layer, different polygon is shown in different colors. We can also use numerical value to drive the colors. Let's use the area of the polygons to drive the colors. After applying, we can see that the largest polygon have deep red color and the others are gradually lighter. Let's learn about the leveling now. If we want to see the level of each polygon, we can right mouse click on the layer and turn on the level. Now we can see that levels are on each polygon. To change the advanced settings of the levels, we can use Levels tab inside Properties window on the layer. Here we can change font size, font family and many more. Clicking OK will apply the changes, and now we can see that the fonts became larger and easier to read. Let's learn how to add a new field in attribute table. To do that, let's open the attribute table of boundary layer. Then let's go to the table options and select add field option. A new window has popped up where we can specify the name, type and precision parameters for the new field. Let's add a new field named Hall Open Space. Clicking OK will result in a window named Invalid Field. The reason is that in ArcGIS Desktop, a field name cannot be more than 10 characters. Let's click Yes to accept the suggestion of ArcMap. And we can see that we got a new field named Hall Open. If we want, we can rename the field. I am renaming it to Hall Space. I am choosing some rows to avoid values in newly created field. I am choosing some rows to add values in new. Now I am choosing some rows to add values in the newly created field. After selecting some rows, we can right mouse click on the field name and choose field calculator. Let's input yes inside double quotations as it is a string. By pressing OK, we can apply the value to the selected rows. To set the other values as no, we can go to the table options and select switch selection. It will select the opposite of our selections, and then we can use the field calculator to get the values as no. So this is how we can add and fill in fields and their values. Let's learn some drawing features of ArcMap. We can bring the draw toolbar from customize option, toolbars and draw option. We can dock the toolbar on top for convenience. To draw anything, we can choose the tool of desired shape and draw. This is drawing, but if we want to convert it to a data or feature class, we have to go to the drawing option and convert graphics to features. In this window, we can specify some parameters and output location and then press OK to save it as a feature class. ArcMap is asking if we want to load the layer. Let's press yes. Now we got a new polygon feature class. So there are a rectangle drawing and a feature class with rectangle polygon. I hope you learned something new. Thank you for watching my tutorial. See you on the next one.